Good evening. It is Tuesday evening, April 7th, 2026. I'm Glenda Carlin, and welcome to our weekly A Course in Miracles and Tibetan Buddhist Zoom meeting. Welcome, God Lynn. Welcome, God Jerry. Welcome, God Julia. Welcome, God Debbie. Here comes God Angela, God Glenda. And then we were just chatting before I started the recording. We were talking, somebody mentioned about Easter, if you had a good Easter. And I went, yes. Everybody went, yes. And then some said, oh, what we worked. And then we realized, hey, we can talk to Jesus anytime. And I explained that I said to him, happy birthday, or whenever your birthday was. And thank you for your service and for A Course in Miracles. Bless his heart. All his, I think it was the Council of Nicaea took his quotes out of the Bible or out of the Holy Works. And thank goodness, I was thinking about that on Easter Sunday, that these enlightened beings or beings that could hear the voice, you can call it Buddha voice, Christ voice, God voice, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. Thank God they heard the voice that said you need to bury and hide Buddha's sutras, Buddha's truths. And they hid them or they would have been destroyed, just like what Jesus's work were destroyed. So thank you both, Jesus and Buddha, for your help. And then I just picture all the enlightened beings after that. Padmasambhava, Longchenpa, Gampopa, all these Jigba Lingpa, all these beautiful, beautiful holy beings that passed their teachings on, and their teachings came down through the centuries, through the centuries. And I kind of realize that's why I relate more to the Buddhist teachings, because they're like him talking, and just in simple words, because the Course in Miracles text is pretty complicated. And even students, I say, best to just read the workbook and the clarification of terms and the manual for teacher. Don't get all mixed up in the text, because it's written for 500 years from now, is what came through Helen Schuteman. But anyway, so I use a combination, and the main thing from Jesus that comes through is his forgiveness, which is seen beyond the flesh, beyond the body, to the clear light of spirit that is contained and animates each form. Our purpose, Danelle and I were talking after the meeting last week about our purpose is to see the light in everyone and everything, regardless. Now, you still make your choices. You don't have to be around certain people, etc. And you don't have to like everybody, but you will end up loving everybody. And during this last week, I was kind of looking through my notes. I can't believe it, but it's the first time last week that I actually said to all beings, I love you. It never occurred to me to say that. All beings, that means the bugs, the spiders, the trees, the animals, all beings, whatever, animate, inanimate, seen or unseen, all beings are all generated out of the clear light of God's spirit and liberated back to that spirit. There's nothing but God's light. So in my email where I sent out, one of the things that really hit home last week is, because the more I sit with that everything's generated out of the clear light and liberates back to the clear light, that means there's only clear light. That means there's only gods and goddesses walking this holy earth. But I forget that, I forget that, because still the egoic mind, egoic self, it still is here in that left brain hemisphere. We're not here to kill it, hate it, fear it. we're here to love it and let it be, but put it as a servant, put it in the back seat. And in the front seat is our Christ Buddha God awareness, the right brain hemisphere. And they're now in awakened state, they're both communicating equally. So during the day, you're thinking about God, Christ, Buddha, your holiness, everybody's holiness. But other times, let's just say something shows up and it's called the fight or flight. You need that ego mind, because it's there to instantly help you. They work together, and I did not know that. When I studied A Course in Miracles, it was typically said in the groups, the body was just ignored. I mean, the body was a symbol of the ego. And of course, in A Course in Miracles, Jesus teaches various truths for a beginner, and then for a person who's practiced for a while. He then takes you, there's layers within that course, and depending on where my mind is, where my awareness is, then those sentences show up. You know how when you open the book, you go, "Oh, I don't remember reading this before, but I know I've read that chapter before," because it didn't talk to you before. You didn't have ears to see at that time. Because it's just layers. It's just layered. But y'all understand that. But the thing is, I was sitting with what all went on this last week. And the main teaching for tonight is about awareness. And I realize I've misunderstood awareness and misunderstood how to use that word. For example, I don't know if you all remember, I can't quite remember the date, back when I was practicing, some post I saw that said to look in the mirror. And when I looked in the mirror, my two eyes joined to one eye, and they went to see that sparkling. I'm not kidding you. I used the word sparkling about 50 times in the next writing, because I just couldn't believe how sparkling this light was that I saw. And I called it the groundless ground, because I just knew things originated from it. But at that point, folks, I didn't understand that awareness is the creator, the luminous, awakened awareness, the original primordial awareness. That's the creator of everything, the generator of everything, and the liberator of everything. And so I was listening to a podcast from Lama Surya, number EP69, and it's titled Clear Light and the View. And due to wearing that sleep mask since March 11th, I can even look back. I counted back. It's like 27 days off and on. I've been wearing that sleep mask. And due to that sleep mask, what happens, all these distractions out here they're not there. They're not seen. And even you think at night it looks dark. It is not dark. There, in this physical realm, there's this glaring physical light that's just wham, banging, or it's just there. With the sleep mask, what happens, I realize I've relaxed. I've relaxed my this conscious thinking mind. It's kind of relaxed. It's let go easier. And I relax and I breathe, just breathe smoother. And as a result, I get insights, or later dreams occur, because this conscious thinking mind has relaxed. And when I listen to a podcast, like I was talking about A Course in Miracles, I now get things from this EP69 podcast that I swear I've listened to it probably 5 times. But in the last few days or the last week, I maybe have listened to it 5 more times, because it's just so exquisite. And the main thing that it's called Clear Light and the View. And the clear light, that's God's presence, and it's here now. It's everywhere. But anyway, I'm going to read two paragraphs because from it talks about awareness. And I'm not kidding, even though I had read it before. I mean, I'd listened to it before. I even tried transcribe parts of it before. I missed the part that says awareness of whatever arises. Here comes D. Awareness of whatever arises is the view and meditation of Dzogchen. Awareness, this is a big deal. Awareness of whatever arises is the view and meditation of Dzogchen. Now, Dzogchen is the highest Tibetan teaching there is. And I really hadn't understood Dzogchen either. But what Dzogchen is teaching is leave it as it is, or first see it as it is, which the view is see it as it is. The meditation of non-meditation is leave it as it is. And then comes the result of be as it as is. And that results in each moment as it is. So look at the continuity that see it as it is, leave it as it is, be as is, and each moment as is. I had missed that is talking about there's only moment to moment living. That's the awakened awareness, is when we're living and aware moment to moment of the arisings that are shown. Let's just say in meditation, when you're sitting in meditation, awareness is aware of each of these thoughts, feeling how the body feels, sensations, evaluations that are going on. You're aware of them. And this awareness is so on it, so lucid, so awake. If you're aware of the thoughts and you just let them be, they will instantly liberate. I never got this, folks. I spent 3 or 4 extra years trying to change and swat thoughts and improve things. But no. I hope I'm doing justice to this EP 69 podcast. And forgive me, Lama Surya Das, if I kind of mess it up. I'm just wanting to share. This is the EP 69 on the Be Here Now network. That teaches you exactly about your awareness, awakened awareness, what awareness is. It's this luminous, infinite, spacious, clear light. And of course, it means it's God. It's God. But the thing is, this awareness is different from the ordinary awareness because it's aware. Now, I didn't really get that either until the last few days. It's aware. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, just plain ordinary awareness. Ordinary awareness, I'm just walking around, not aware that I'm walking, not aware that I'm leaving from one room to go to another room, not aware of my mind fully in the car when I'm driving, because that awareness, ordinary awareness, has gone off into the past or the future, or glued some memories together. And it happens so fast because that's the way that ordinary awareness operates. But what we're cultivating, what I'm talking about here tonight, is cultivating this awakened awareness that's aware that it's aware. So now, for example, when I decided I'm going to go walk, then my awareness is right there in the moment as I change my shoes. It's aware Glenda's going for a walk. And it's like, it's just panoramic. It's aware of everything. It sees everything. It's also the doer. It's the doer that knows what to do if we pause, lean back, you'll get a thought or feeling. It knows what to do. We call gnosis. It knows what to do. It's not based on that reaction of ordinary awareness. This awareness allows for a pause between stimuli and stimulus and response. It allows a pause between when you hear something, see something, smell something, taste something, feel something, think something. There's a pause. Instead of this all jumbled together, we're just sleepwalking. Here's my habit. Oh, I get in my car and I do this, and I turn the radio on, and then I do this, and then those. We want to break these habitual patterns that we're used to doing. Break out of those into into the moment of being aware. And that what comes to mind is I was watching the college basketball final four. Two games involved four teams, and one of the teams was Michigan, University of Michigan. That coach did something very unique. The commentators were talking about. He took it. These are basketball players. He took his players out on the Michigan football field and had them put a basketball goal thing there. And I think it was slightly raining. And so the ball was wet. So now picture what he's doing. He's changing their habitual habit of how they hold the ball, the basketball, how they walk. If it's raining, the grass could be wet. They got to be aware of how they walk. They got to be aware, that that ball, how it feels in their hand. He was, oh my, that was just so brilliant of him. He's bringing them into the moment. They got to be in the moment, feeling that wetness on that ball and being concerned. I'm gonna lose the ball. So I got to be in the moment. I mean, be in the moment. And Lama Surya Das calls that is be. Now, what he means from that is picture moments. We got a moment or a thought. We got a thought, then there's another thought, another thought, another thought. This awareness that we're cultivating allows these thoughts to be. So this thought, there's this thought, then this thought, then this thought. We're not stringing the thoughts together to make a rosary or made of these beads, right? What we got is a bead, a moment, a moment, a moment. I have to tell you, this is the crux of awakening. So how do you cultivate this? That's how you talk to yourself and you make yourself notes of, I want to recognize what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I want to, and use different words for yourself. I want to be mindful of it. I want to be aware of it, moment to moment to moment. And also, I want to be aware of my thoughts, my feelings, how my body feels, what my thoughts, what I hear. Because see what you're doing in the moment, you're breaking up these habitual patterns that have everything all jumbled together where we're asleep, just sleepwalking, reacting. You're in the moment and you have a thought. Just the awareness you had that thought will liberate it if you leave that thought alone and don't reify it by adding memories to it or sentences or stories, or you don't take concrete and brick it up. Brick and mortar that sucker up. It's solid now. I got me a solid memory, and I'm going to repeat that memory about my family or the politician or my neighbor or whatever. It happens so fast. We're breaking that habit of this asleep, ordinary awareness that thinks you're a separate body, and there's other bodies out there, and there's a separate universe. But again, we never put our body in harm's way. We never do that. We're not psychological or physical doormats either. You know when to call 911. You know when fight or flight, use that ego and get out of harm's way. And then as soon as you can, you think of that person as the light of spirit that they are. Now, so why this really, I'm going to cover at the end, not at the end, here in just a few minutes, about it's called Rang, R-A-N-G dash D-R-O-L, and then it's called Shar, S-H-A-R dash D-R-O-L. R-A-N-G dash D-R-O-L and S-H-A-R dash D-R-O-L. What Rang-drol, Shar-drol, in Tibetan, that means by itself arising, by itself liberating. That is the crux of Dzogchen. Naturally, these things arise and naturally they liberate if we don't screw with them. We don't cling on to them, push or pull on them, like the ocean. The ocean has waves, but guess what? The waves, they're an adornment. The waves, they come and they recede, right? They come, they arise, and they dissolve within the ocean. And let's see, what else would I want to think about is there was some other one that I just love, but it kind of leaves my, but it'll come back to me. But this experience, I truly didn't understand it. So I didn't try to practice it. So that's why tonight I'm spending time on this because it's huge. This breakthrough, if you can kind of understand this and kind of we're cultivating this awareness of allowing things to come and go, especially in meditation. You start, this is in meditation where you're becoming aware of these thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And I used to teach you all that then you take the leash every mindfulness when you know your mind wandered off to go to the grocery store or wherever, you brought your mind back to center. This is not what I'm talking about here. That's called a concentration object. And we're not swatting thoughts and we're not labeling thoughts, good thought, bad thought, negative thought, angry thought, happy thought, because happy, now the thing is, and we're also allowing things to be, for example, happiness and sadness are the natural feelings that occur because we have feelings. But what's not natural is this anxiety or paranoia. That's extra. But just natural happiness, natural sadness, that's just part of this life. But when we're aware of it, that will also help liberate it quicker instead of, if we're not careful, we like the good things, so we concrete and brick up the good things, and then we're pushing the bad things away. We don't want those. We like that the bad things leave out or are gone. We forget that when the good things show up, right? But anyway, now I want to get to that. But before that, I want to do a little different recap here. Last week I talked to you about due to wearing the sleep mask, then this awareness was relaxing, was just relaxing. And when it's relaxed, then Holy Spirit knows it can bring up fears for me to look at. And so I had a dream, and that in that dream I told you it was had two parts about snakes, but the other was a fear of I was walking with my father and a girlfriend, and we were walking in a open field, and there were 5 or 6 men in the field. And before we knew it, the men had approached us, and I got the feeling that they wanted to rob us. So I was talking to them about, okay, we'll give you our wallets. But then I realized that now this is not this is just my fears talking here. Then it dawned on me they were going to rape us. And so that's when the dream ended, because wow, didn't want to look at that deal. So the thing is, I sat with that because, boy, I know enough that That's Holy Spirit bringing to my attention things I need to look at. And that's when I realized, that's when I talked to y'all last week about all the lifetimes where, I feel I participate in all the different wars and have participated in killing people. And then that's when I ended up watching some show on PBS about the origin of man and realized 50,000 years ago, we were Neanderthals. And when the Homo sapiens came from Africa to the Neanderthals in Europe, they interbred. And then there was an ice age and they had no food. And so they had to kill each other for food. And I participated in all that. But the thing is, I was sitting with that and saying, if I had known better, I would have done better. Please forgive me. I love you. And saying to them, if you had known better, you would have done better. I forgive you. You're the Spirit of God. You're the light of God. We're all the light of God. So that practice, I've done that practice about me being a soldier and killing people for years. But see, this was this is some real in-depth, some more in-depth reconciliation of the violent behavior our bodies have had to do to survive, to get by and feed our families, right? Okay, so there was that dream. And so it came to me what to do based on a week or so ago. I think I explained to you I was practicing this awareness because I know I'm sort of getting to know that this awareness, this is like attention. Awareness can be put into things. I thought, like there's awareness within Glenda's form. This is Christ, Buddha, God awareness that's using Glenda's form to experience this world, this awareness. So I was vacuuming and I thought, well, that vacuum cleaner is made up of compressed light. I'm going to put my awareness in. It was a tube vacuum cleaner with a little brush on the end. Put my awareness in that tube. And sure enough, my awareness went in the tube. And I was right there in this clear spaciousness of this tube. And it was moving back and forth because I'm vacuuming the floor. But anyway, that was just a small experience. But based on that experience, I decided to put my awareness in my fears. So, and several times I did this last week. First one was, see, that field of 5 or 6 men. First about the fear they'd rob us, attack us. But then when I sat with this fear, the fear was about attack. The fear was, besides robbery, fear was about rape, but also the fear was about being killed. Because I believe in reincarnation, in the continuity of spirit, just like there's continuity of genes and chromosomes through each family lineage. There's a continuity of spirit. But anyway, to me, y'all check out whatever y'all think. But the thing is, so I took my awareness. First, I saw myself and I saw a man standing in front of me that was going to rob me. And so I wanted to put my awareness in him. But see, when I went to do that, it was sort of like I kind of walked into his body. My awareness was facing out the back of his head. Because see, I've just walked in there and I'm just looking out back of his head. And I think, well, no, I'm going to look out his eyes. So I turn my awareness around, and I'm looking out through his eyes. And I'm seeing that his body, inside his body, is spacious. Is spacious. It's clear light, because clear light's the essence of us all. And then I called up the next person. That person was the robber. And the next person was the attacker, just going to beat me up for whatever reason. And so I stepped into that person, different person standing from me. And again, it took a little bit, but I got my awareness turned around and I'm looking out through his eyes, seeing his spaciousness. But I am feeling his anxiousness, his sorrow. He's here attacking somebody, right? From his fears. And so then I leave that be. And then I have the person standing before me, the rapist. and I take my awareness into them as they're raping me and turn and see through their eyes. And the last one is the person that's killing me. And go and walk in them, turn around the world, see. And what I recognized was this was their karma. This was their feelings that they were venting and taking out on me based on their experiences, and not so much what I have done to them. Doesn't mean maybe one of them I hadn't done something to, but this is their karma. If I react to them and judge them, then I've made karma for myself, not seeing their clear light essence. And so I take on karma then. I was kind of talking with Danelle about that because, Danelle, I want to share about what Holy Spirit said to you. Is that okay? It was like, Holy Spirit said something to her like, outer is with inner, or inner is with outer. And I wanted to explain to her how I took it, because I feel like some course teachers don't teach this. They're teaching these projections. See, I got an attacker standing there, got a robber, a rapist, and a killer standing there. They would probably teach, well, that's your own projections coming back to get you. If you didn't have those projections in your mind, that wouldn't be happening to you. Well, here's the thing. I don't agree with that. These are projections in those person's mind. And that's their deal. It's not the cards I'm dealt that matters. What matters is how I relate to the cards that are dealt and how I respond, whether I take that on. Now immediately I may not have this holy high thought of the clear light of spirit, but I sure know enough as soon as possible I get away from them, I'm practicing that on them and myself. Because outer and inner are the same, because it's the clear light of spirit. It's the clear light of God that's generating every one of them, but they're relating to their memories. They're relating to their left brain thinking mind that's got stored up all the culture, memories, and experiences that have resulted in with their karma. Because this is another thing Lama Surya talks about in this EP 69 is karma. Karma's really the creator. Buddhism thinks karma. Because picture that, whatever actions I give out, I receive. So if those people are there in front of me, but I don't give out those reactions, I give out the clear light of love and spirit, I'm not taking on their karma. I'm not. I'm anyway, you get so 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 why this is brought up is just because there's a war over there in Iran or these things are going on, it depends on how I judge those things, whether I'm reifying, concrete and bricking up a bunch of judgments that are going to cause karma. That's therefore I'm going to get to reap it later. I reap what I sow, my judgments. Or that example of a few weeks back when that person was screaming at me, and I went, "Oh, that's not my karma. That's not mine. That's his feelings. That's his feelings. No, that's not mine. Unless you take them on, unless you take those on. But I've covered that enough. But the thing is, also, uh, but in the ultimate, see, karma could be the creator in this physical projection deal, but the real creator, the big generator, is awareness, this luminous God awareness. Okay, now what I want to share is, so several times I practiced being put my awareness inside these men. So don't you know, I forget, it's in my notes, I don't want to take time to look it up. and I had another dream, and I didn't know the significance of that dream until just, I think, this morning. And it was a few days ago. This dream was I was participating in a dark retreat with, there were 5 other people that we had decided to go have breakfast at a local village. And so there was a male and female couple, 3 other men and me. So I think, yeah, 6. So we go and have breakfast, and then it's time to go back. So as we're walking back, we go through a forest with like a grassland. And in that open area, there were like 5 or 6 men. But this time the men, where they were walking around, but some of the men, this is kind of unusual. I've never had a dream like this. Some of the men had, my late husband did this. He'd just go in the backyard and pee. He decided he'd just, pee in the backyard. Why the hell use a toilet? He's got a backyard. So these men had unzipped their trousers, and you could see their penises. They're peeing. They're just standing there peeing. And oh, wait, before I forgot. Before we got to this open field, the road forked, and there was a left fork and a right fork. And the male and female couple, they went to the left, and I and the 3 men, we went to the right. And as we walked on the right trail, we came upon the field, and there were those men. Well, we just kept walking. And as we walked further, there was a horse, and a full-size horse, and a man walking along. And the horse just wanted to walk with me. And I go, okay, okay. So the horse is walking right beside me, and the other men and that other man. And we're walking towards this hotel, right? And then the dream ends. Well, I'm not kidding. I hadn't thought, I recounted the dream, I wrote it down, but it wasn't until this morning I realized, whoa, this is a good thing. Look what happened, folks. There was another open field with 5 or 6 men, and their penises are showing. Now, if I wanted to react, I could go, damn, right, damn, meanness. What's going to happen here? No, that never even entered the dream. It was just walking past him. No comment was even made. Now, see why that's important. Picture when these thoughts, feelings, and sensations are going through the mind, or when we're out here talking with people and they bring up something, guess what? We got the choice whether to comment or not. We got a choice. We start commenting. Oh, that wasn't good. Nope. Just picture, I could participate in that, but no. You become, with that awareness, you're aware, I'm not participating in that. No comment. But anyway, and then about the fork in the road. The left fork is the left brain, the left hemisphere. Those 2 people were still in the thinking mind. Their path was the thinking, stinking thinking, we still use analyzing and thinking for budget and making lists and grocery store, etc. But it's a servant, poor master. It's good servant. So they're on the left, the fork. We go on the right fork. The right fork is the right brain of spiritual consciousness, going down that path. So, and the horse wanting to walk with me means I'm getting, feeling non-separate from other beings, animals, right? I mean, I never had a dream where some animal want to walk with me. Okay, so that dream showed me that the fears that had been repressed and denied by me have pretty much been let go of. Doesn't mean I might not need to do some more subtle work. That'll become obvious as to whatever thoughts come to my mind or dreams that I had. Now let's look here. I did that. Oh, before I forget, before I go to Rang-drol, Shar-drol, is as I meditate with that Monday through Saturday group, and some days I've seen Lynn there with Debbie, Debbie Thomas comes quite often, but is when I sit there and meditate, and I've joined now my crown chakra with all those enlightened beings in the Pure Land, which includes Jesus and Buddha. And this big light force is larger than the whole universe. So when I see myself vertically standing, intertwined with that other being, with our crown chakra light force fields bigger than the universe, that now that expansion and contraction of light, but is joined with breath and with the heartbeat of the heart. So breath, light energy, and the heartbeat of the heart, that love light, the divine love, it's all in union, expanding and contracting out of the heart chakra through the center of the universe to go out through the entire universe. And you can sit with that and practice that as well. Because I never did what I just described to you until recently, but I went smaller. I would just kind of go within planet Earth, and then I'd separate go to the universe. But heck, this is the big panoramic view kind of view. Because you practice this until it becomes an actual way of living, actual way of seeing and feeling things. Now, and also now, an out breath, I can pretty much let go of everything. Like I go, and everything's let go of. But that reminds me to remind you of tools in the toolkit. When you're meditating, or when your mind is just ruminating about some memory and you just can't get off of it, you can tilt your eyes up, and flick your eyes right, and left, and kind of go ha, H-A, ha, ha, he, H-E-E, ha, he. That's kind of like the dakinis. Those are like dancing holy beings. You're breaking up those frozen patterns, those frozen habits. You catch yourself, you're aware, you're just ruminating on something. That will free it up. And then your breath, your out breath, taking even 3 deep in breaths and 3 deep out breaths, saying at the end. Let's see, what else was it? Yeah, okay. Those are terrific items. Besides that, you call up favorite prayers you might have, or you call up the image of Jesus or Mother Teresa or some the Tara goddess, someone that's real close to your heart, because instantly you take on all their characteristics. And you can let go. Because that's the purpose of this awakened awareness, is to become free of these habitual thought patterns. They've been running the show. We don't want. Okay, now I want to go here to this Rang-drol, Shar-drol, by itself arising, by itself liberating. Okay, I'm going to read 2 paragraphs or so here from this podcast. This is Lama Surya Das teaching this in-person retreat. And when he does in-person retreats, I'm not sure, depends on how many days they are, but a week could be over $1,000. And then you've got room. I don't know if it includes room and food. I don't know. But this is a big deal. He's sharing parts of these teachings on YouTube that we can learn from. Anyway, here's it goes. So now I want to talk about this specific Dzogchen practice that defines or shores up our awareness practice. Our rigpa. Rigpa means like clear light. Practice called Rang-drol, Shar-drol, by itself arising, by itself liberating. The inherent freedom of being, self-liberation. Not saying ego liberation, by itself liberating like an automatic door. That's a big deal. We're not liberating the ego self. We're liberating these thoughts that come and feelings and sensations that we glue onto. By itself liberating means, you go into automatic door, these doors just automatically open and they close, open and they close. It said, And then he goes, automatic liberation like waves in the sea is one of the images. The waves arise and dissolve, liberate or free, resolve themselves into whatever the next thing. You with me? Or the clouds in the sky, they resolve back into the water element or whatever, the sky eventually. So we do not need to iron out the waves in this practice. Just enjoy the positions of the ocean itself. Let go and let Buddha wave. Think, feel, oceanic, Boddhisatva mind. That means big mind. The waves are not disturbing the ocean. In fact, they are adornments. They are buddhaful. They are the ocean's own natural Buddha activity. As conditions require, or conditions require it, no problem. Awareness of whatever arises is the view and meditation of Dzogchen. So Rang-drol, Shar-drol, by itself arising, by itself liberating. If you read Dzogchen books, the hyphenated word self-liberation is a little confusing, so I'm defining it. Not ego self being liberated, things arising and dissolving by themselves, like thoughts come and go if we let them. If we don't seize on them, reify them, which just solidifies them. This kind of meditation is not about thought swatting. Swat those pesky thoughts, beat them down, get to calm and clearer. You don't hear me emphasizing that. Awareness of whatever arises is the view and meditation of Dzogchen, not calming and clearing the mind, not pacifying the mind, not quieting the mind you sometimes hear. This is not just a relaxation exercise, not a concentration exercise. It is a panoramic awareness exercise that includes whatever arises is the object of attention. Now, see, that's something I never got until this last week. That it includes whatever arises is the object of attention. Attention's your awareness. You're just aware of it. You're aware of that thought that you're having a memory about your mama, and you're just aware. You pause, that thing, it'll leave. It liberates. That's food for the naked, the nuded awareness, to quote the Dzogchen master. That's all the grist for the meal of naked, nuded awareness. See, naked, nuded awareness is clear light. And the clear light is what generates these images that come and go on it, within it. Just come and go. They come and go. The nuded of extra accruements. The accruements that we put on it, strategies, goals, directions, aims, everything arising is the fuel for the bonfire of this awareness. Don't you love that? Everything that arises is the bonfire for this awareness. It'll burn it up. Now, what came to me is to give you an example, because I feel like this could save you years of practice if you fully kind of understood why this stuff arises and then liberates. So it arises and then liberates. Is because the Son of God wanted to experience the love that God had for him or in her, wanted to experience it, because in the sterility of purity, where there's no concepts, no nothing, there's no feelings, right? They're just unchanging, unmoving, sterile, pure, clear light. But that awareness wanted to feel the love that God had. So it came up with this the Son of God came up with this ingenious way to create a physical universe to where the physical universe really isn't created. It's just a magic show. What he came up with was, see, this purity, this luminous awareness that just sparkles with creativity. It came up with this idea to extend a great ray off of its spaciousness. Now, picture it's sort of like seeing the United States, and you see Florida down there as a peninsula. Well, Florida's part of the United States, even though it's sticking down there. But that's kind of like the Great Ray. The Great Ray is extending off this vast spaciousness. It's not apart from the vast spaciousness, it's part of it, it's in union. But in the immediacy of that great ray, or a tube that was extended off, picture that tube's like a glass tube. Let's just say it's 2 feet long by 2 inches in diameter. It's a glass tube. And this tube's got like a glass or a transparent divider down the middle of it. So we got a round tube. And picture the light of God, God's spirit, in that vast open spaciousness, God's spirit is inside that tube. That's the way it is. God's clear light's in that tube. So I'm just giving you an example. So just picture God takes his hand. Of course, there's no hand, and he presses down on that clear light. He's pressing down, and it compresses the clear light into the 5 elements and generates forms, images, compresses the clear light into these 5 elements and makes forms out of various colors of vibrating particles, light particles that are not separate from the clear light. But at the very bottom of that compression, God's hand lets go. And guess what? Then that energy that was compressed, it springs back. It ascends back and dissolves, all those particles dissolve back into the clear light. Then in the next split second, pressing down, compression of the clear light generates the image, then lets up, the pressure lets off when the light ascends up. So it's a descension and an ascension that automatically happens when that great ray tube was extended. So picture this. This is just a process. It's just a process that the Son of God came up with to generate a physical universe. But after the universe is generated in the Big Bang, in that expansion and contraction, it expands back to its openness, its spaciousness, into that self-liberation in a second. All this is going on in split seconds. That's why we can really only experience our beingness moment by moment. Because those meditation teachers that try to get you to be in a state of bliss or whatever for 2 minutes, and that means you're awakened, that to me, I've never heard Lama Surya Das ever evaluate a wakefulness based on number of minutes that you can be in a state of bliss, because he'll even say that becomes a condition of the mind. That becomes just a condition, almost like a fabricated, manipulated condition of the mind. This awareness that is the generator of everything, it's split second spontaneous. Moment of arisings that get liberated, arisings of images, and then they liberate. So that's why so picture the 6 senses, the thinking mind, sights, sounds, smell, taste, feelings. Picture this dissension force. It's quite a force, and the ascension force, it causes winds within this body and mind continuum. And those winds then are the winds that are moving these thoughts, feelings, and sensations. They're coming and going, following the movements, the down and up movements of the great ray. And the down and up movements of the great ray causes the breath, the in and out breath, and the heartbeat. So it's all going in unison. So just picture, let your thoughts, feelings, and sensations come and go with your breath, your heartbeat, and that invisible great ray that you've not yet quite felt. So picture this is just a process. And it's a naturally cleaning process. If we let these thought, feelings, and sensations go, we're not clogging up and making dung balls of memories and manipulations and calculations and expectations and comparisons that clog up our mind, body, heart, all the chakras, right? So it's a freeing and cleaning mechanism. And that's why it's called a hologram, because none of this really exists permanently. It's fleeting, it's moving in and out. I hope that helped you, because I haven't really shared. Sit with that, investigate that. Is that this is all just a process. The Son of God wanted to experience being inside a body so it could look at God's clear light essence and go, oh, I love you, God. I feel you, God. Oh, you're so sweet. Look, oh, I love you. Oh, I'm resting in you. Let me just lean back and rest in your presence, God. Oh, now this God presence has two aspects, emptiness and fullness. So this emptiness is the part about this whole purity and sterility part, which was difficult for me to ever relate to, really, but it just means free of obscurations, free of concepts, free of thoughts, free of pictures and images, right? So these drawings, so these images that are generated are like drawings in air. So when I was doing that practice of putting my awareness inside those different men bodies, my awareness was in there. I saw that they were like a straw. The inside was hollow and the outside was like a little thin skin meat, little skin, thin skin, like a straw. Well, in one of these posts I saw Lama Surya Das did, some guru, some holy enlightened being was said, these images are like drawings in air. And that's what they are. That's what we are, drawings in air. It's really kind of floating too. But I hope these images and these words help you realize the impermanence of all of this, but not to make you sad or anything, but to have you be within this inherent freedom of being where you can be free. You're like free with resting and relaxing within this clear light while you walk around and you're aware you're eating. You're aware you're aware. You're aware you're watching TV. You're aware you're walking around. You're aware that image is in your mind that you just thought about a relative that had died. That image is a thought in the mind. Letting these things come and go but because they're like an automatic door, like waves in the ocean. If we don't cling on to them, hang on to them, let them be, you can still enjoy this life. You can still enjoy family history, culture, your family lineage, all that. But yet you know the truth. You're experiencing the truth. You're experiencing freedom from the being intertwined with all the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of the suffering and sorrow or of extreme happiness or sadness that have occurred in your life, right? Let's just see if I've got any remaining things that I didn't cover. Oh, I forget. So so with the sleep mask, to wear the sleep mask, you need a firm foundation in your spiritual practices because it will uncover fears that you have that will get looked at, forgiven, seen through, be through them, see their clear light essence. For you to remember your Buddha, Christ, God, clear light essence. A final point is there in a different podcast. There's a story about some spick and span monk. It's called spick and span means like a monk that's in a monastery that he's really practicing Buddhist sutras, meaning truths, and he knows right from wrong, and good from bad. He got it. Well, I forget the name of a person, but one of these spick and span monks was told there was a guru that he wanted to go study with, so he left the monastery. But he didn't quite know where this guru was, and he figured he'd be directed. But he made his way, and on his way, he came upon this hag, this old woman, a hag, kind of leprous, kind of just really dirty, filthy looking hag. And before you knew it, he was consorting with this hag, just wallowing around on the ground with her, consorting with this female. I mean, you can't even touch a female in the monastery. No touching, no touching. And see, what I'm describing here is we label things filthy. We label things awful, horrendous, filthy. And the other things is pure, good. See, that's duality. So this monk, that experience allowed him to see he had been labeling things that weren't filthy. Sex is not filthy. It's not. Uh, Old person's not horrible or hag or living that way out there, filthy in the mud, walk around the mud. And see and that I've come to find out she transformed into one of these holy, beautiful goddesses person. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if I got that right or not. If she tried, but he realized she was a holy person in disguise, bringing his judgments to light. All I'm explaining is you don't have to like these people, but you will learn to love them, but also be aware of this thinking mind that its job, its two-ness, it is duality, but also realize that Son of God created this physical universe, and in it, they're subject and objects. There's two-ness here. There's two-ness here. But when we're awake, we see the interconnectedness of everything because the clear light streaming through my form, just like it's streaming through Angela's, Lynn's, Jerry, Danelle's, Debbie, Dee's, and Leon's, and everything's. It's streaming through the cells of everything. You can't see it. It's clear light. God's presence is here. But because we fell asleep and believe we're a separate body, and that we the Son of God was the creator, the big guy, the author of the physical universe. That's what I never understood what Jesus was talking about in A Course in Miracles. He authored it. He created the physical universe because he was prideful, real prideful about this physical universe, fell asleep in these forms. But automatically, then there's the judgment of good and bad, filthy and clean. That's called BOGDEN, Bolton. That means to jump a big leap past all our regular thinking mind, past it to this purity that I'm talking about here, then you all know that's there. But unless we each practice Treched, TREKHOD, something like TREKHOD, Treched. TREKCHOD, which means seeing through, being through these images to see their clear light essence. Unless we stop to do that, how can you ever build up enough momentum to look out and see the clear light of God's presence that's here now, everywhere, with that panoramic awareness? We're cultivating that awareness by doing our practices, right? That are seeing through, being through. That's the main one. But another one is just do these giant leaps where I'm going to just forget all thinking, all my thinking, and all my habits, all my beliefs. There's only the presence of God everywhere within all these animate and inanimate forms. Talk to yourself. You read your devotional work, and and, and without meditation, it can't occur because then you get in this rhythm of your breath where you're letting your merging, you're like riding the breath, the in and out breath, and before you know it, it calms and relaxes you. And that in and out breath, you've joined with the winds of this great ray in and out light, and these it makes everything relax. Everything gets relaxed, and your ears are open, your eyes are open, your mind's open. You've touched this right brain spiritual side, and more often you're glimpsing moments and feeling peace, calm, love, and seeing this spaciousness, this openness, the luminosity of your awareness. Just practice though to get it. Now Debbie's got a question. Okay, Debbie, let's see, can you unmute, honey?
Yes, yes, thank you. And I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just that I have to go in a minute. And I just wanted to offer up something. I'm sure you heard it too. I think it was Deb who, in our daily Dzogchen meditations, I think she said, and it really resonated with me, that all of our experiences, all of our manifestations are not the awareness. They arise out of the awareness, but they
Mhm.
are not awareness itself. And to me, that was like oh my God, an oh shit moment.
Well,
So,
but we're aware of them because that's what evaporates and liberates them back to their clear light.
sure, but the experience itself is not awareness. It's
No,
not
it's an
aware. You
image.
are
Right.
aware. You are aware of your experiences,
Hmm.
but it is not
Hmm.
awareness itself because everything arises. All of every manifestation, every experience we have, everything we see and hear and whatever, that all arises out of awareness.
Right.
It
Well, see,
arises out of it.
I never see,
She,
each of us has our own these beliefs, but I never thought about that an experience was awareness. That never,
right, but I think that a
some
lot of
do,
people
huh?
do. I think that they may
Okay.
misunderstand that you know something's going on and you think you're aware, but it's really you're aware of your experience, but it's not the actual awareness itself, which is very it's like kind of like wrestling with anyways, I just thought it really helped. I'm
Yeah.
trying to read this.
What we're cultivating is being aware of the experience, the thought, the feeling, the sensation, and our judgments, etc. And in that awareness of that, then they liberate. But yeah, these are all just holographic images that are
Right,
generated, right? Hmm.
right. That's I think that's another way of
Thank you.
saying. I think so.
Thank you, cutie. Thank you. Any other thoughts or questions? Yes, Jerry, unmute, honey.
Hi. Well, before I leave, I just want to say thank you for the awareness practice. I could listen to you all night, but it was great. And but I wanted to say I loved when you started with that. We should love, see light
All
in
things.
everything and everywhere. I guess I didn't ever really thought about that and how important that is. And
Well, I have to tell you, that wasn't an original thing from me. I got that from Lama Surya Das. Isn't it beautiful? See the
yeah,
light in everyone and everything. See,
everything.
that thing is the TV, the bureau, the chair, the car, because each is consists of real compressed light particles, but we don't think of it that way. And animate and inanimate, because that frees us totally. We're not
Hmm.
holding objects separate. Well put. Keep going, Jerry.
And that we should love all beings, all beings.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Oh, well, good point. Where we and see you also, it's called fake it while you make it because this is built to me where I finally occurred to me this. I love all beings. You can
Yeah.
say it, even though you don't believe it, because you will ultimately believe it. Or maybe now you
Mm.
do believe it because you love all beings because you know they're brother and sisters.
But even any live, anything live, you said anything, right?
Yes, bugs, because
Yeah,
within for that
I know.
bug to be animated, a spider, a bug, a lizard, reptiles, any animals, anything, for them to be alive, just picture this, for them to walk around, they're ant generated, they're with light. Clear light is being inserted down and up in them. But
Mm.
when they're asleep, it's not as forceful as when they're awakened. But without that light coming down, descending and ascending, they wouldn't be walking around here. Now,
Well,
this
thank you.
awareness, before I forget, this awareness is what remains even when you're in a coma. This
Mm.
awareness is not regular stuff. This is not like regular consciousness. This awareness is where people have near death experiences or they're in a coma and they hear their family talking out in the lobby or they see the doctor doing something to them. This awareness is the awareness that is the was alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. It is the creator of everything, generator of everything. This awareness. See,
Mm.
awareness, I didn't even know what awareness was. It's when you just go look at a vase or something. You're aware there's a vase there. And that Lama Roger Walsh would say, well, now I want you to really look at that, whatever you were concentrating on, really look at it to see its essence or because that awareness is crisp and lucid and awake and takes in moment by moment the images. It's so quick and panoramic, it's processing it all.
Yeah.
It's not blurring them together anyway, because they're each unique. Each of us are unique expressions of this clear light, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks. Have a
Well,
good
you
night.
can now you can re-listen on my YouTube channel. That's in my
Oh,
signature block. At the bottom, there's a link to click on for my YouTube channel.
YouTube.
Yeah, because see, listen to that Lama Surya Das and other podcasts, like Lama Roger Walsh has Transformation Network. I'll listen to podcasts there and various other places, but I'll listen to some podcasts that really ring my bell, 5, 10 times, because and do a little pause between them, or sometimes I'll do them two in a row, do it right in a row, because it means it's really talking to you and can save you years of work. You pick up
Mm.
little things that you practice and you go, oh yeah, that, like Debbie Thomas
Mm.
said about that, her awareness,
Mm.
what came through to her. So it saved her work on something, right?
Mhm. Mm. All right.
It's in
I'll
my
look at it.
signature block. If you can't find it, call me and I'll help
All
you
right.
find my
Okay.
channel.
It's in
Any
your
other,
email, right? It's in the email?
yes, in my signature block at the bottom.
Signature block. Okay.
Yeah, the signature block. Any other
All right.
thoughts or comments before I
Thank you.
stop the recording? Thank you, Jerry.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Okay, let's go around the screen and remember to think of our brother and sisters as the clear light of spirit, God, Christ, Buddha, whatever you, there's God Angela, God Danelle, God Leon, God D, excuse me, God Lynn that left, God Debbie that left, God Jerry, God Julia, God, all those that listen to this later. Thank you, thank you, thank you for each of you that came out tonight. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording.